The #1 selling product of its kind with over 20 years of research and innovation. Botox Cosmetic, out of botulinum toxin A, is a prescription medicine used to temporarily make moderate to severe frown lines, crow's feet, and forehead lines look better in adults.
Effects of Botox Cosmetic may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness may be a sign of a life-threatening condition. Patients with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Don't receive Botox Cosmetic if you have a skin infection. Side effects may include allergic reactions, injection site pain, headache, eyebrow and eyelid drooping, and eyelid swelling. Allergic reactions can include rash, welts, asthma symptoms, and dizziness. Tell your doctor about medical history, muscle or nerve conditions including ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease, myasthenia gravis, or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects. For full safety information, visit BotoxCosmetic.com or call 877-351-0300.
See for yourself at BotoxCosmetic.com.
The following is a Red Apple Podcast Network presentation.
They say this is a big rich town. I just come from the poet's part. Bright light, city life, I gotta make it.
Welcome to Dominic Carter's podcast. This is Dominic Carter City Hall. Now, here's Dominic Carter.
Dominic Carter, Red Apple Podcast Talk Radio 77 WABC. You can listen to me on the radio Monday through Friday, midnight to 1 a.m. My heart goes out to the victims of the recent weekend Bronx fire. 3 children, including a 10-month-old baby girl, among the victims killed in the early morning fire in their home in the Castle Hill section of the Bronx. The blaze broke out in the 2-story brick home on Quimby Avenue near Castle Hill Avenue about 6 a.m. In this episode, the hammer attack on the 82-year-old husband of Speaker Nancy Pelosi in their own San Francisco home. Think about that for a second. Let it set in. Not being safe in your own residence. Speaker Pelosi was in Washington at the time. Imagine what could have happened if she was home. The suspect asking at the time of the break-in, "Where's Nancy?" Please, America, I am begging you. We have got to tone down the rhetoric, turn down the temperature. We can disagree politically without declaring the other side is our absolute enemy. The man who was alleged to have attacked Paul Pelosi, the husband of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, had with him a bag that contained multiple zip ties, among other things. In addition to the zip ties, he also had duct tape on him, and the 42-year-old suspect is facing charges of attempted homicide, assault with a deadly weapon, elder abuse, burglary, and other felonies. Tone down the rhetoric. But former President Barack Obama, on the campaign trail for Democrats around the country, he was discussing the attack on Paul Pelosi in Michigan when Obama was interrupted at a large gathering.
Yes, so, sir, wait, come on. But this is what I mean. This is what I mean. I mean, we're having a conversation. Come on. Sir. I'm not. Sir. Come on. Sir, this is what I'm saying. Look, there is a process that we set up in our democracy. Right now, I'm talking. You'll have a chance to talk sometime soon. We don't have to interrupt each other. You don't have to shout each other down. It's not a good way to do business. It's that you wouldn't do that at a workplace. If you wouldn't just interrupt people in the middle of a conversation. It's not how we do things. And this is part of the point that I want to make. Just basic civility and courtesy works. And that's what we want to try to encourage.
Meanwhile, in the hotly contested race for New York governor, Obama recorded a radio commercial for fellow Democrat Kathy Hochul and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, whose name is bantered around as a leading 2024 presidential candidate, was in town for a rally for Republican Lee Zeldin.
Are you ready to elect Lee Zeldin as your governor? I'm so happy to be here because I think it's great in politics when you don't have to choose between the lesser of two evils. You can actually support a very strong, capable candidate. And Lee Zeldin is that man, and he's the guy that can turn New York around.
The reason why this red wave for Republicans is coming, of course the issue is the economy, but Democrats shooting themselves in the foot across the country on the issue of crime. If you listen to Democrats, the message is crime? What crime? Pick a race, any race, including Governor Hochul, and Democrats are only focusing on abortion. The Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade. You don't believe me? Let's go back to the one and only debate in the New York race for governor. Listen to Lee Zeldin in that debate on crime.
You know, it's amazing that we're going to be able to go through the entire crime conversation of this debate, and we're still waiting for Kathy Hochul to talk about actually locking up criminals. I mean, people are at home waiting for action to make sure that the handcuffs are going on criminals instead of law-abiding New Yorkers, so that people can go walk the streets of Manhattan instead of having to call an Uber just to go 2 blocks because they're afraid. People who have changed their behavior, they're not riding the subway at the same hours. Maybe they're Jewish, they take their yarmulke off because they're afraid of being attacked. Maybe there is a woman, they tell me these stories of having to hug a pole or grab a guardrail because they're afraid of being pushed in front of an oncoming subway car. There are criminals out there who need to pay the consequences for their action instead of the catch-release policies that Kathy Hochul champions.
Unfortunately, Democrats are in denial on crime. Hochul's response at the debate, "I don't know why that's so important to you," Hochul said when Zeldin pushed her to speak on crime and cashless bail. Governor Hochul went on to add, "Anyone who commits a crime under our laws has consequences. We could always do better." That response right there is why the red wave is coming.
Shopping is hard.
I can never find anything in my size.
I don't even know my size.
I buy my clothes the same place I buy my groceries.
There's a better way. Make it easy with Stitch Fix. Just share your size, style, budget, and done. Your personal stylist sends pieces picked just for you.
That was easy.
Stitch Fix. Online personal styling for everyone. Free shipping and returns. No subscription required. Get started today at stitchfix.com.
That had us thinking, and we decided to go back to the 77 WABC Democratic debate for city comptroller. It was in June of 2021, last year. We want you to listen to our lightning round when I asked if crime is out of control. The candidates could only answer yes or no. And the leading candidate, former City Council Speaker Corey Johnson, said yes, crime is out of control. But the man that gave me the hardest time on the question as moderator and who ultimately won the race is now the comptroller of New York City, Brad Lander. One of the candidates then has been indicted by the feds for corruption. State Senator Brian Benjamin. Governor Hochul selected him as her running mate. Benjamin was lieutenant governor until he was forced to resign. On the stage for this lightning round, where again the candidates could only answer yes or no, was State Senator Brian Benjamin, New York State Assemblyman David Weprin, Speaker of the City Council Corey Johnson, State Senator Kevin Parker, Michelle Caruso Cabrera, and Zach Iskel, and also the man that won the race, Brad Lander. We're going to go this way now. Mr. Benjamin, is crime out of control in New York City?
No.
Ms. Caruso Cabrera?
You know, as a former journalist, these are not good yes and no questions, I would say, okay? Out of control? No. Scary? Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Can you define out of control?
Yeah.
It's whatever way, Mr. Iskel, that you may personally feel. It's a personal question.
I have issues with the
In your heart, Mr. Iskel, is crime out of control? It's real simple, yes or no.
In my heart, seeing what's happened in the city, the number of shootings, the number of children that are dying, yes, it's out of control.
Speaker Johnson.
We have a crime problem, yes.
So it is out of control?
Violent crime has gone up. Homicide, shootings, robberies. It's gone up. It's unacceptable, yes.
Mr. Lander.
I agree with Michelle that this is not a thoughtful way to ask the question. Of course, we need to do more for safety in our communities. Gun violence is rising, and we have to do more about it.
So, Mr. Lander, you say it's not a thoughtful way. Okay, well, you say it's not a thoughtful. You say it's not a thoughtful way, but there's a reason why us journalists do it.
And there's a reason why I'm pushing back, because I don't think that helps us make a safer city.
Okay, but many of our listeners feel that the city is out of control.
And what we got to do is get it in control by making thoughtful investments in public safety in all our
but it just seems very simple.
Fear-mongering doesn't make us safer city.
But it's not fear-mongering. I'm just asking you, do you feel it's out of control?
Let's talk about how to make New York City safer.
Okay, Mr. Wepper.
I'll make it easy for you, Dominic. Yes.
Okay, that's a yes or no. Mr. Parker.
Yes.
But unfortunately for Democrats, times are a-changing. It has backfired where they seem to have all this sympathy for criminals. Thank God it's a new day politically with all this crime sweeping the country. It's time for law and order. And that brings this episode to a close. I want to thank you folks for joining us. If you are interested in my book on my life growing up in New York City and overcoming numerous obstacles, but I'm still standing, the book is titled No Mama's Boy, and it will be personally signed for you by me. Or if you're interested in my bobblehead doll, you can go to my website, DominicCarterOnline.com. All one word, DominicCarterOnline.com. You can catch me on 77 WABC weeknights, midnight to 1 a.m. Go check out the Dominic Carter merchandise at the 77 WABC store, from Dominic Carter t-shirts to hats and much more. Go to WABCRadiostore.com. Dominic Carter, Red Apple Podcast, 77 WABC.
I gotta make it. Dominic Carter Socials on Twitter at Dominic TV and Facebook and Instagram. Dominic Carter TV. Email at dominic.carter@wabcradio.com. Until the next episode, be well. And as Dominic always says, stay positive. The glass is always half full, never half empty. Dominic Carter City Hall.